Good morning. How y'all doing? We're about to go into the swamp park. That's a sign you don't see every day. They also have a train ride here and boat rides. So you can ride through here and see the gators and whatnot and ride through the forest on the train. It's $17 a person. 16 and up, I do believe. Okay, we're starting our boat tour.
I'd like to say good morning and welcome to the park. My name is Tommy and I'll be y'all's guide on this tour. How many of you folks ever been here before? My first time too. Now our swamp covers about 500,000 acres of land out through southeast Georgia and North Florida. We have over 70 islands located all out through the swamp and 60 pretty good sized lakes. The largest island is the one y'all come in the park on named Cow House Island. This island about 8,000 acres. We also have 27 different type species of birds, snakes out here. Six of them are poisonous snakes. The rest of them is non-poison. We have over 39 different species of fish in the water. We also have over estimated count of 20,000 alligators. We do also have bears, panthers, bobcats, wild hogs and deer, raccoons and possums and rabbits, otters and beavers, and what did I leave in that? Coyotes and foxes. All lives out here too. They call it their home. Now the plant life you've noticed on each side of the trail, there's 621 different species of plants out here. There's some of them you can actually eat. Some of them they make a medicine out of. And there's one special bush, we call it poor man's soap bush. You can actually pull the leaves off of that plant and use it like a bar of soap. Now the water in the trails mostly put in here by the rain. It's more of a watershed than it is a swamp because our water moves about 2 miles an hour, all headed south. Because we're 128 feet above sea level here and it gives it a downhill slope. A lot of the water evaporates because right now we're about 1.5 feet low. But this water is also the headwaters of the St. Mary's River on the east side of the swamp and on the west side the Suwannee River. As we go along through the trail, the snakes are out. You look down toward the roots of the trees up on the bank, up in the bushes. Because they camouflage themselves with the coloration of things out here. It's hard to see them at times. Such as the alligators, it does them the same way. Now there's several different type trees out here. There's black gum, white ash, cypress. There's 2 different types of cypress. You got a pond cypress and a bald cypress. And the bay trees, there's a red bay and a loblolly bay. You can actually take the leaves off the the red bay and use it for seasoning your food. The Indians used to take the loblolly bay and the cypress tree and make a dye out of it so they could dye the clothes that they made. Get different colors. These little stump-like things sticking up out of the water is called cypress knees. It's a root off the cypress tree that branches out from the tree and comes up. Helps support that tree to stand upright. It also can breathe oxygen through the root systems. Y'all notice this sign up ahead of the boat on that tree? It points out Old Indian Trail. Back in the 1800s when the Seminole Indians lived out in the swamp, they used these same very trails to maneuver themselves in and out of the swamp. There's several islands further out in the swamp they lived on, so they used this as like a hunting ground. This was territory they made dugout boats out of the cypress trees and used these channels to maneuver them to hunt with. Now if you folks haven't ever seen a gator cave, right here on your right where these 2 little trees sticking out the edge of the water, See that cave going up under the ground there at the water level high? All right, on the other side of this other tree that's out in the water next to the bank, you'll see another one. During the wintertime, alligators have to use caves to stay in to keep warm when they hibernate. And that's how they do it. They use them caves for hibernation. We also have several species of turtles that also lives out here in the swamp. We have a chicken turtle that's black with yellow stripes on his head. We have a sliding turtle that has a pretty good sized head on him. Some people call them a loggerhead or slider. We have big soft shell turtles, gets about the size of a tin tub. Snapping alligator turtles, there's some out here 6 foot long, weigh over 200 pounds. If y'all look up the trees and see all this Spanish moss, it's in the pineapple family. The pineapples you go to the grocery store and buy and eat. Back when Henry Ford first built the first automobiles, that's what he stuffed the seats with, is the Spanish moss. This limb right here ahead of us that we're going to pass under, that plant is called a Merkel bush. And you use that plant 2 different type ways. You can pull the leaves off of it, rake them up in your hand and rub your body with it to keep mosquitoes off of you. You can also dig it up by the roots and beat the bark off the roots, and they make an antibiotic medicine out of the bark off of that plant. It's called a Merkel bush.
Well, if we get stuck out here, we got some information. 20,000 alligators here. We should at least see a couple.
Right there ahead of the boat on the right, you see that patch of fern there. It's called the real name of it is called a Virginia fern. Down South Georgia, we call it swamp fern. But actually, when that plant's young, tender, you can eat it like a salad. It's edible too. If you look back toward the boat dock to the right a little bit, you see them 2 plants over there. One's got an arrow-shaped leaf, the other's got a long, elongated leaf. The first one is called an arrow plant, and then the other one's called a neverwhet. That arrow plant has a pod that comes on it, kind of looks like a pepper. But it's hotter than any hot pepper you ever stuck in your mouth. The Indians used to use that pod off there and let it dry out and use it for seasoning for food. The neverwhet is the only way you ever see that plant wet is immersed up under the water. It also had an edible bloom on it. It tastes like asparagus. And the little water lilies you see there to the right, it has a pretty flower on them. They open up in the morning and close in the afternoon. It also has an edible root. It's starchy flavor. Now if y'all look to your left as we ease by, you'll see the remains of old moonshine still. The settlers that moved in the swamp after the Indians was chased out, a lot of them made moonshine, either for drinking purposes or to make a living off of it by selling it. It was about 180 to 190 proof. And they had a special name they called it. They called it block and tackle. They said if you could drink a pint, walk a block, you could tackle anything in the swamp. And this boardwalk here leads out from the boat dock all the way out to the 90-foot observation tower. But right across the bridge there, it's got a low water boardwalk. And sometimes if you walk out from the boat dock out here, alligators use it for the sunbathe on. Also snakes. So we do have a little small boat dock up ahead of us here a ways. We're going to stop there and let y'all off and go out there and spend about 10 minutes to climb to the top of it. If y'all look up there ahead of the boat, right on that little point yonder, you see that little yellow and black alligator sitting there? Little small one.
Oh, there he is. Alligator. Almost looks like a chameleon. You know, he's got to have a mama and daddy around here somewhere.
Now, if you look at it on the left, that little opening there, see that big pile of straw? That's not a normal pile of straw, it's really an alligator's nest. Several months ago, we had a big female that had that nest. She hatched out 42 babies out of it. When she built that nest and laid her eggs, it takes 94 days for them to hatch out. When they hatch out the egg shell, they got one tooth, they call it the egg tooth. They rip through the shell of the egg with. And the time they get out of the egg, that tooth will drop off. 2 days later, they have a full set of teeth, of 82 teeth in the mouth. And a baby alligator, when he hatches out, he's 6 to 8 inches long. And he can grow 12 inches a year for the first 6 to 7 years. They'll stay with the mother alligator up to the first 2 years. If they don't leave on their own by 2 years old, she'll start eating on them too. Other predators out here in the swamp like baby alligators to eat, such as snakes, turtles, fish, hawks, birds, and bobcats and raccoons. Out of the 42 that was hatched out, 10 of them probably live long enough to be adult alligators, because they're real vulnerable when they're little. Predators eat them. The weather has something to determine the sex of the alligators when they hatch out. If it's 89 degrees and above, all the hatchlings would be males. If it's below 89 degrees, they'd be males and females. Now, these big cypress trees right out here you see that we're approaching, these are pond cypress. Some of these trees are over 200 years old. They are a protected species of tree down here in South Georgia if you don't no longer cut them. Cut the tree or the cypress needles. The other cypress tree is a bald cypress. Well, this one has a pond cypress has a needle, your bald cypress has a leaf. They got different pigmentation of the bark. Back in 1909 to 1929, there was a big lumber company from up north come down here and bought several thousand acres of land out of the swamp. And they cut out over 420 million board foot of lumber from the cypress trees.
Aww.
And the pond cypress and the bald cypress is related to the big redwoods that grows in California. Now, if y'all look up there ahead of the boat, you'll see a sign on the tree that points to Fargo. Fargo's a state park on the west side of the swamp. If you go through the swamp, it's about 40-something miles across there to it. You go out here about 5 miles and you take the right fork, it leads you to Fargo. But if you wanted to go further from Fargo, you can also hit the Suwannee River and it'll empty you out in the Gulf of Mexico, which is 280-something miles from here. Now, if you want to go to the East Coast, go out there and take a left fork, it leads you over toward the St. Mary's River. And the St. Mary's River empties out in the Atlantic Ocean.
Gulf of Mexico, 290 miles.
This little boat dock here, we're going to pull it there and stop for about 10 minutes, give y'all 10 minutes to walk out to the observation tower, climb to the top, and look out over the swamp. But before you get out of the boat, look to your right. You see a sign over on that tree that's upside down. But look in the water, you can read it. The water has a mirror reflection look.
Mirror lake.
Because the leaves and all that falls in the trail, they sink to the bottom, and it builds up a tannic acid.
We're on our way to the observation tower.
Wow, that's a nice tower.
Oh, wow. Wow. Sweet. Get our exercise in today. Steps down into the swamp. That's crazy. I bet it had a walk all the way across. Okay, the living swamp. Well, we made it to the top. It's quite the hike. And nope, You cannot see any gators from up here. But that's a lot of forest. That's a lot of cypress trees.
I want to thank y'all for riding with me and hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of the day as y'all visit the park.
We're gonna take a train ride now.